Here we go. This video is going to be titled How to Beat SK Gaming. It's going to be demo review of SK versus Astralis. Astralis actually won this match 16-12. So it's going to be a basic demo review. I've never been a coach nor an analyst, but this is how I would probably review a demo if I'd have to do it. Everybody plays retake in this map. On A, it's the one retakeable site. Put a bit of sound so that we don't get bored. Now, what do CTs have to do in this instance? They got a smoke A main, molly fork, and flash site. Yeah, right there's a kill. Snowball flash, and there you go. Everybody goes in. They should have won the round even if he killed everybody. So that was a great retake, very well played. Retaking A on cash isn't something that's a sure thing. Like on the map like Train, retaking inner is a very decent strategy in my opinion, because it's a very hard side to hold if you're playing passive. But cash is especially on pistol, because it's a Glock in your close range. I feel like a 5v5 retake, it's not really in favor of the CTs nor the Ts. It really depends on how the terrorists set up in post plant. Usually you would want to have a lurker mid, but that didn't happen. Alright. So SK4's bot with a 1 AK. When you see a B main control like that, you don't need to pull in a rotator, but what you do need, what it tells you basically at this point is that they bought, right? Because they use a smoke. Nobody's gonna buy a smoke for B main on a full eco and not push through it. Like, that makes no sense. So you know they're buying at this point. You're playing 2 in A site, so you're committing to defend the A site. I'm not a big fan of this, because if the terrorists have one molly, then one of you guys is gonna get wrecked. I feel like it's much better to play just 2 highway. See, like Zitness gets fully blinded, he gets wrecked. Exactly what I said. Like, to me, A side on this map is a very hard side to play. Man, it requires a lot. It requires, like, the way you would want to play it is kind of give it up, but at the same time trying to get a free kill, so you don't have someone sit highway, like go peek the forklift, and then his teammate would be up right here, peeking default cross, and since they smoked it, you can like literally just stand right beside the smoke, get a free kill, and then fall back. If you get blind, you can still fall back, you're still behind smoke, it's unlikely that you're gonna die. You don't lose much, and yet you're still in good positions to retake. And at this point, as soon as you see it's a full execution, either you have a quick flank from B that you called from earlier, or you just, like you did the first round, you just smoke him in and molly fork and retake it. So against force buys, don't play inside of his site. You always want to keep a molly for default as well when you're playing retake on the gun round. I gotta sneeze. My bad. Let's see. This is how SK plays anti-eco. The way to counter this anti-eco is to press this guy and this guy. If Taco always plays into Squeaky, he's a free kill. I haven't watched many, we'll see throughout the game how he plays, but if he keeps playing aggressive to Squeaky, then you need to target that guy. As soon as you lose... Alright. So there's two ways to counter their anti-eco setup. Either you push the extremity where you know some like one of their players pushed up. I'll actually even lower the volume. Or you contest mid. So you figure out a way to counter their mid, right? So what they do? They molly vent, they molly close up. No, they did not. They molly vents and sandbags. Smoke Z and flash over. So what you would want to have, you'd want to have two people on highway and a guy in A side, and you pop flash mid for them. Probably guy Z as well actually. And you pop flash top mid for them when you heard them running in like close mid right here, and you try to get as many kills as you could. Astralis won that round just because they had a bunch of deagles and they got 1Ds. It's not a reliable strategy, right? Getting 1Ds obviously, it's just pure off of aim and holding angles. SK probably should have won that. They had full mid control, but I guess shit happens. In general, I'd say Astralis isn't proactive enough on their CT side. I think I'll bite them in the ass once they face like better teams with good strategy, just like SK actually. Probably even an Immortals or Gambit. Like the new Navi, I'm guessing will have good strategy. VP. Alright, let's see. It's hard to really, like, this wasn't really a default for SK. I think they boosted a guy to try to get a pick, he got wrecked or something. Alright, never mind. Someone pushed a main, they traded 1 for 1. Alright, so something we've seen now is that Cold always plays Sunroom. Now, there's a very, very easy way to kill this guy, just boosting up. Yeah, you can obviously hear you boost if you make a lot of noise. That's a gimmicky thing that you could probably get away with once. But definitely in the gun rounds, I'm assuming that Colt's gonna play at this position, and at some point, I'd like to see a B main take from the CTs with two players, because SK is a team that tends to default every single round. So I would like the CTs when they have an op to have the op cross, peek the cross. Second guy is gonna come right off of here for cross checkers, and he's gonna smoke this area right here. And if you get smoked out B main, then the upper mollies this side of Sunroom. This guy's gonna molly, or he can molly deep. It doesn't really matter. This guy mollies the other side, and the upper's gonna pop flash the smoke, and you guys are just gonna push through. So like this whole area right here should be mollied. Maybe he could hide right here, so he wouldn't be able to be this side of Sunroom, and this would be smoked out. So it basically had to be out in the open. Alright. It's just, why do you have your fucking knife out? Holy shit, my glaive's bad. I'm not trying to really review what Astralis did, but like, this is a throwaway round. I'll just skip it. But obviously, glaive, you're against pistols, and the last thing you do is crouch and spray. You're just gonna get wrecked. Like, you take quick peeks, you know? And device, a small mistake, I guess. There's no point in watching clutches. I'll just skip them, because you won't really find patterns in how they play post plant situations. I don't think. Like, post plant situations are really unique in their own way, so it's hard to figure out, you know, strategies to counter them, I guess. Right, this is the first gun round, which is a mix buy for Astralis, but I got 3 guns. Alright, so we see this. So this guy should be a target for the CTs. And yeah, yet again, alright. You should be able to counter this very easily. So they take mid control early, right? They take mid control early. There's two ways of countering this default. This is the classic default. The first way is to send your Opera with a Rifler in Squeaky, and the Opera is gonna swing. There's two ways of, like, he can play it two different ways. Either he swings wide and the Rifler walks up close, or the Opera holds this angle. Actually, no, there's only one way. The Opera is gonna swing wide, and it's gonna hold this angle. The Rifler is gonna walk up. If the Opera doesn't see him, then he'll fall back right here, toss a flash, ball flash right here. And the Rifler is gonna swing wide and clear out Squeaky. But he should be getting the kill because Taco always ball flashes and gets right here. All right. And then the same thing at B. Two things you're gonna do. You see these flashes? This is very easy to counter. Now, if Fallen ever gets a good spawn and decides to go early B, like, this is kind of the gamble that you always take, but the way you want to play it is assume that every time that B main is getting smoked out, Cold's by himself. From what I've seen, I think that this is how it's going to play out. I don't think they'll ever push B straight off. It's Cold alone, yep. So either send your Opera Squeaky to get that pick, because once you shut down the default, once you shut down one of the extremity, they're fucked, right? SK gives up A main every single round. At the beginning of the round, this is an anti-eco, obviously. That's why they only boosted one, but usually they'll boost two people. They'll take mid control with 3. They'll have 1-3-1. So, yeah, obviously attack one of the extremity, get that kill. Even if it's a 1-for-1, 4v4, when the CTs have good map control, to me it's not terrible. I don't think it's favorable for T side actually. Especially the CTs have an Opera. They can just shut down half the map. Alright, so actually we'll just roll through the tape. You've seen the same anti-eco. They boost people mid, take mid control. Last time it was with 2 people, now this round it was with only 1, so whenever you're equaling, I think I would send more resources towards mid. I think mid and Squeaky are the vulnerable spots. I think it's very easy. It's not that easy to push B main to kill that guy off, right? It's usually what you would want to do, and I'll explain it in the next kind of round. We'll see. This is the first. They're gonna save again. We're gonna see the same exact thing from SK, I bet. Oh no, this time. Fold is going towards B, had a good spawn for B. That's why I assumed. Alright, he still smoked B main. Alright, so Cold not always gonna be by himself B. I'm gonna skip this round. We saw something different. So don't assume that if you see a smoke B main that Cold's by himself. I'll take that back. He Fallen has a decent B. I mean, it's half decent B spawn. It's like 7 out of 10 spawn. Not the best, but yeah, it's better than average. Let's see. He doesn't even peek. He's just holding. This is a different type of default. They're just holding for a B push. Right, so this guy is the one you should be targeting. And this guy. This is hard, alright? So whenever you do a demo review like this, you should look for common things, right? Not common things, but like repeating, like things that like not things but strategies that are run a lot and the same way. And like I think something you could point out in all their different strategies in their B main default or in their basic default is that Taco's by himself squeaky, so they won't even take mid control. This round should be won easily by Astralis. Oh, never mind, they wanted to mid be split fast. This should be. This has got. Where are they gonna go if not B? There's 25 seconds left. Just they're gonna end up A. There's no time. Alright, so yeah, target Taco is squeaky on their default. He's the easier target to kill. He's the player to kill. They faked the mid to B. Not faked the mid to B, but they threw wall of smoke mid, which usually implies you're gonna go mid to B because you haven't taken control of highway with those smokes. They waited out the smokes to take highway control. That's why they lost. Took them too long. And right there, exactly. See, what I don't want to see is him peeking with a bad spawn. He had a bad spawn. There is no way Taco beats the guy, the CT to squeaky. If you have the best spawn, if you have one of these fronts, like right here, front spawns, you should beat this the terrorist. Just trying to knife out, open the door, and peek wide. You usually won't be there. This is the first round. Taco didn't even fucking flash. But usually I would want my rifler to be right here with me and dodging flashes. So if my operator gets blinded, the rifler can swing wide and get the kill. I liked what they did though, Astralis. Now it's 5v3, this is why the terrorists don't really have information. They have control, but they don't really know whether there's a B stack or an A stack. He spotted the guy in A, killed him straight. I think to me is, and whenever you're in a 5v3, you should definitely go A as terrorist. At this point, as CTs, you need to take a gamble and play 2 in 1 side. Like by making this video, what's really important is to point out how you can counter the default. That's the only thing that's important to counter. Countering execution is like, I haven't seen really an execution yet, other than like the force by a exec, the classic A exec, which I point out how to play against it, obviously. So they're setting up heavy mid. Alright, they're gonna play this half angle. I just farted. I don't like him peeking. Actually, it's a good angle, never mind. You should be able to get a couple kills if they... Yeah, that's fine. They left A open, what the fuck? They didn't go for this guy right here. Like I said earlier, there's a couple ways of countering the default. They have to counter the mid take. This is not gonna go any well. I'm not sure why he even peeked out. He's got a perfect off angle right here. And you should never play Vance, obviously, because everybody mollies Vance. So the way the way you counter this this mid take is you play the spots that aren't mollied, that aren't really gonna get mollied. So if you want to play, you can play Crossfire close mid, and close mid in the guy ZR Highway. The dangerous thing with this is that you like once flash gets both of you guys and you're fucked, or like it's gonna get at least this guy, because this guy's gonna look at boost. Usually even this gets mollied, so it's not a great spot to hide in. I would never recommend after you've wasted the smokes mid. I don't think it's such a good thing. Like I don't think it's a spot to defend. I think it's a spot where you can play really passive. Like you can play one highway, just one guy highway, and like two towards A, and just ball flash. Alright, so either you jump spot it, and when you know that they're pushed up, you ask for a flash. He flashes, you peek. He flashes again, you peek again, and that just keeps them delayed, right? They're just gonna keep getting delayed. I think the last thing I'd like to say about defaults is you should look at how the guy watching boost plays. You should boost up and just hide up here, not peek. And depending on the spot on the spot that he takes, that he's holding, I'm so tired. I can barely speak. You want to pop flash over boost and peek with a flash. I think that's not something that's very common, and a lot more teams should do. Device got the picket mid. Yeah. They're gonna try boost. The Taco's gonna hear that. Like every single round, Taco's been doing this shit. Like, Taco should. I would just fucking. There's so many ways to kill Taco, man. So many ways. You go early, or you do a flash late, like mid round, like at 125 or something. 125 or 130, you have someone highway pop flash, and as soon as he flashes, as soon as the flash reaches the door, you open the door, and it's a perfect pop flash, and you push through, you get this free kill. Like I'd like to see different things. I think this is how you beat this team. See, when terrorists don't have mid control, and they're gonna try to just go A, they're gonna get wrecked by a boost. When terrorists don't have mid control, they'll most likely end up going A, because taking B control is very, very dangerous if you don't have checkers control as terrorists, and checkers control isn't that easy to take if you don't have advanced control. It's kind of a whole thing where if you want to actually hit B, you're gonna need to take checkers control, and to take checkers control, it'll take you about 2 mollies and a flash and time, like a lot of time, and then taking B requires 2 more mollies and a smoke, or 2 smokes if you want to smoke heaven as well. So that's a lot of utility that has to be used early, and a proper rotation from the mid guy is going to come in. He's going to stay in heaven, and yeah, most situations you'll just get counter flash pushing B because they know where you are and you'll die. So that's why control is so crucial. So I like the decision of them going A. I think this is smart. Game leaders are gonna go A when they're down a guy. Usually only one player is gonna be inside, so if any. Alright, this is a different type of default. Now we see a heavy A default. Wait, is it? Am I high? I'm high. They're just gonna go. I don't know what they're doing, dude. I think Taco is still an easy target. They just scrimmed out, eh? Is that their take? Is that an execution? Because they were all in A main, so it's hard to say that that's an execution. I think that's just... maybe it is. Fallen went before the smokes. If it is an execution, that's the first time I've seen it. They smoke, they do a wall smoke right here. And they smoke deep, they smoke deeper by truck. So this guy can jump up on forklift and not be seen by this guy right here. And by being on top of forklift, it gives you very good angles on highway, so you can get the kills in A like much easier, I guess. That's a cool thing to do. To counter it, you would want to counter it. But first of all, whoever died by Fallen should have fucking killed him. Cause he just walked out. You just got out aimed, I guess. But they don't throw anything towards site or fence. So you're playing one guy fence. Holding the forklift cross would be probably enough. If you want to play a 2-on-2, then the second guy could be spotting default. Spotting him and jumping like this. And as soon as you see the smokes, just be aware. You should probably fall back right behind the smokes. And look for a jump up on catwalk. Or you can even fall back if you get a forklift, fence towards quad, and look at the jump up. And just play with your teammate quad. Counter flash. Play with the counter flashes from your teammates. The best way to destroy and execute mollies and flashes. So SK went for a fast mid control. They've got a couple of things. They do the default at 1-3-1. I mean 1-1-1-1 obviously, but it becomes a 1-3-1 with 3 people mid. Whenever Fallen has a good spawn, he'll go P main, so they'll do a passive default. They won't take mid control. And whenever they do, and they had an aiming, like an A focus default, I guess you could say. I'll pause it, and I'll talk about CT side. Like I said, the keys to beating SK, Taco, right here, and counter boosting, and when you give up mid, take aim in control. I think that's it, man. I don't really have much else to say. Just being proactive, changing your setups on CT, being aware of they never went B, so I don't think they really like the B site. Maybe they have a B exec that we don't know of. They went B once on a force buy actually. Alright, so we'll see how their CT side plays out. I think Taco's their weak link in the default. The guy squeaky.
Roger that. Yes. Now is the time. Grenade.
He spots early, gets wrecked by a nade. They're gonna play retake. No person actually gonna play side. Nobody's gonna play retake. He gets blinded. Terrace should have pushed for and traded the guy forklift. Yeah, they play retake on A. He spots A main. He decided to spot A main probably because he had a good spawn, I'm guessing. I've had to watch like 10 demos of SK playing Cash. Still all to learn all the patterns, which is like, you know, this is my first demo of them on Cash, so like some of the things I say may not apply in every game they played, you know. Alright, never mind. First, the A player. I thought that they might be playing pistol off of spawn, but they did not. He's gonna give up base side again. This is a spot where you give up base side. We'll go to fur. Oh, never mind. Oh, my bad. It's a force buy. Sorry. I thought the CC's won that round. My bad, my bad. You didn't see one proactive thing though early in the round by SK on the force buy, so that's something to note. They didn't pop flash B main, they did not pop flash A main. They just play passive everywhere. So I'm skipping this. They're still not gonna do anything proactive. Alright, first gun round. This is so boring. What the fuck? Someone used the radio command to say affirmative. Exactly as I said. This is so boring. Taco is such like a below average operator at this level. I don't know why he ops. This is a sweet setup. You get a decent nade. I think it's more helpful to spot boost and nade boost, but that's fine. They didn't smoke mid, that's why they're doing this. They're gonna give up mid probably. Yeah. No. Now they're gonna smoke mid. Important thing to mention, they keep 2 at B. He gave up mid. Or spawn. Why is he taking a gamble B? Oh, he just bought flash from B main. They're getting a lot of information. This is proactive play. Oh, this is a good mid to A exec. Yeah, Fallen has to repeat, because if not, he's gonna just give up side, and whoever's right here is gonna die. Exactly. Very good strat. This is a strat that I've always wanted to employ that I've never tried. Tried. Nice mid to A split. It's the only, in my opinion, good way of splitting mid. I like throwing a smoke right here, and the smoke. I like having my wall of smoke being diagonal, because it blocks the guy jumping up right here, and it you just see more of this no man's land that can get wrecked, right? Because if you toss one pop flash over, then whoever's standing right in the open right here is gonna die. Whereas if you do what they did and threw a wall of smoke that lands closer to E box, then you don't really give yourself a good shot at killing a blind guy. He'll just fall back behind the smokes and you won't get any kills. I think to me the other thing that you would want to do on a mid to A like this is smoke right here, so that any operator that plays side or quad just gets nullified, I guess. Usually we'd want to have a guy squeaky Molly forklift as well, and so this guy squeaky can also clear catwalk. Those are the things that destroy mid to A. Mid to A gets wrecked by an opera site and a crossfire forklift and E-box, or prison and truck, I guess. And you don't really want to send people in A main, because if the opera is quad, you can't really send 2 or 3 people A main. Usually the bulk of your players are gonna. Fur played behind the smoke. Alright, so I'm thinking that SK plays 2 on 2. We'll see next round. Usually, I think at this level, the way I would beat most teams, if I were a coach or whatever, I'd say 2 things. How can you counter their default? And the second thing, how can you attack their weak link? Let's be fair, the weakest link on the weak player on S is Taco. By far, it's not even close. I would just bomb his fucking site every time with like after I've taken mid control. I would just keep on executing on his ass, throwing different stuff at him. 2-on-2, yeah, exactly what I thought. They're playing 2-on-2. Such a big risk. Usually he's gonna get traded there. He gets so much information about that play. That's an aggressive play. Your default should cover this push though. And this default right now didn't cover shit. I don't know why they sent 3 early B. Actually, I do know. If I want to just... See, he's speaking by himself. Now this is... If you have 2 players, you'll trade this scout. There's 50 seconds left. You can't take mid control anymore. It's too late, dog. So obviously, to prevent any bushes like this, you have to have someone spotting A main. But even then, you can't always keep A main control. Usually you'll have to give it up at some point in the round, like either when you take mid control or whatever. So you can't really prevent this, but you can fight it obviously very easily, even if he's rifling. So they decide to go fast mid to B. Dude, fight sucks. I mean, I can put down very quickly what Astralis did early. I wasn't really watching, but I saw 3 people B. That's because their Opera had a good spawn at B, and the Opera probably peeked wide. And if he gets that kill, then you can just push B with the other 2 players, and it's a 3v1 inside that you should be winning. By that point, you have side control and you won the round. So I see what the Astralis did. I don't know why they kept 3v for so long, though. That makes no sense. But by doing so, they smoked B main and they prevented a push from like a ball flash B main push type of thing. Meaning that SK had to give up checkers, probably because of the mollies they threw. So without Astralis being in, SK being in checkers, Metsu B is very efficient at that point. And yeah, that's how it worked. That's why it worked. There's one thing that kills a Mitsubi push, is a guy back at checkers, a guy peeking across if you don't have a molly back at checkers, or even a guy blue and a smoke B main. That kind of stuff wrecks a Mitsubi push. Yet again, 2-on-2, Falling got picked in mid, or A main. Where did he die? Oh, he died in main. Taco was playing mid, he went. Alright, so by now we know SK's default on cash. They play 2-on-2. A very exploitable default. You go mid, which is exactly what you should be doing anyways on T-side cash. I don't see how you could lose against. I don't know. I mean, I think the only reason SK is a top team because they play very standard CS. I think the reason they're so good is because they have Gold Zero and Fair and Fur, and they have like a solid operator. He's consistent. He's not crazy good, but you know, he's like he's reliable, I guess you could say. That's like it's a foundation operator. They play they play proactive as well on CT. They push their main a couple of times. When they lose mid, they try to push B main with a pop flash. So those are the things that you should be looking at. That I'll say bluntly, not a lot of pro teams do. So just be more careful on your defaults on cash against SK. Once you take mid control, have your solo players not play too aggressive, and you should be fine. Liking what I'm seeing though from Astralis. I think that mid to A would work again if they just run it. Yeah, there's another way to exploit a 2-on-2. This is after you've taken mid control. You try to press the guy's Z, because usually the opera is not gonna actually gonna be Z. He's gonna be A, because it's more efficient for him to be A. So there's gonna be a right for Z, and both B players are always playing inside. I mean, from what I've seen. So this guy is vulnerable, very vulnerable to being traded. And then once you've gotten this big right here at Z, outside Z, the map's gonna be wide open for you. If I would say, I could give you a really good counter to what they do. You take control, you leave one guy wide box, and then you stack 4. You go back through A main, and you destroy their push in the A main. The way you would do that is jiggle peeks, jiggle peeks, jiggle peeks, jiggle peeks, or a ball flash A main. Have your opera posted, molly checker, molly lockers, and then just peek out and have your operas posted on the A main push in case the guy wants to help his teammate. As well as just one for a fast A push. Yeah, what you shouldn't be doing against a 2-on-2 setup are executes on sites where you can't molly off things that well. Like on A, you can molly fence and quad, but those mollies, I mean, the molly fence usually is gonna net you a kill if he doesn't have a smoke, but the molly quad doesn't always net you a kill. He can just jump away. So whenever a team on cash is playing 2 on A, an A take isn't that great because a full A exec can get wrecked by just counter flash, right? If this guy plays default, you just counter flash right in front of default. I mean, he'll get a bunch of kills. I think it's based on like a strat like this, like that is based on RNG basically, just luck and timing, which isn't, I don't think it's something you should do on a consistent basis on T side. A change in tempo would be good if you would want to go fast mid, which is exactly what they just did. So they recognize that then SK always gives up mid, so there's no reason to wait out any smokes in mid, just go out right off the bat. They got mid for free now, so this is where I think, like I said, either you leave one guy there and everybody falls back towards A main and you retake A main. See this guy right here? This is so like predictable, because this is how you should play this game. It's how to play the game. And see this guy forklift. The guy forklift is in a great position to either pop flash for his teammate or to help his teammate if he needs it. But what beats, and this is actually the other thing I was gonna say. This is not gonna work. Now the reason this B take isn't working is because they only have one molly. If you have a second molly to molly triple, well, never mind, it worked. Wait, oh my god. I'll take that back. But yeah, against a team that gives up mid control and play 2-on-2, I think early in the round you take mid control, then you take checkers control. So you smoke B main. You have 1 or 2 guys here, and you play only one guy towards A, like probably Squeaky. Yeah, so you play one guy B main, he'll smoke B main, and he'll pop flash. He can molly right behind the box, and pop flash checkers. And with this pop flash, you guys can just drop down, or not even drop. There's like multiple things you can do, right? You can shoot out the vent, shoulder peek it, molly back at checkers. He can molly this or molly close up as he wants, and he can pop flash, and you just can drop and clear it. And once checkers control really early, the CTs are fucked by then, because I don't care what people say, a full B take on this map with 2 mollies is really hard to counter as CTs. So I think this is what they should be doing. Even if Gold Zero is the best player on the team, and you would usually want to avoid him. And Phelps is the 3rd best player, so I think maybe like skill wise probably the 3rd best, but as a player I'd say Fallen's better. But yeah, B's decide to execute on. There's no point in me watching what Straws does. Like they just lost that last round because Cold got a bunch of kills, but at the same time they should have lost. They should have lost the I mean, SK should have won the round if Cold just had hit his first couple of shots. He just whiffed. Yes. So like I said, take early mid control, take early checkers control. Either go back to your A split, dominate Z, or go into a straight B take, full B exec. I think all those things would wreck SK. I think even setting back 3 people in A main would wreck SK. The way they set up, look. Oh, first time they play mid. Oh, they're solo now. Wow. They changed the setup first time. First time they've changed their setup. This is 2-2-1. Oh god. Who does this? How does this work? I'm not sure how we got 1 kill. Device is lost. Device doesn't know what's happening. Everybody's hiding in smokes. the lonely flight. That's I mean, this is why you shouldn't have ever go straight into into full exec against the SK. Most teams, like, you can do it a throwaway round or to throw something different, but I think actually I'm not totally against it. I just wanted to point out that it's unlikely to work against a team like SK because they usually tend to play default setup on, like, they tend to play 2-1-2. They play 2-2-1. Like, what I'm saying is, like, if there's 2 players on A, it's very hard to early. You're gonna get countered by mollies and flashes, so. But I think something else that could work is establishing aiming control with 3 people early, right? And having someone cross right here, and then I play anti-flash, and then everybody else go back to default and take mid control. The reason this would work is because once you take mid control, Fallen or someone's gonna push through A main, probably with a flash. Nobody's just gonna walk in and peek this. All right, it doesn't happen unless they know exactly where you are. So by you playing anti-flash, you'll be able to dodge the flash, and you'll get a free kill on the guy pushing. So this is something that would just a straight counter though to what they're doing. Yeah. I don't think I've got much else to say. I think I pointed out everything that has to be pointed out to counter their CT side and their T sides. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And have a good day.